Good morning, and welcome to California Classical Association South Spring Conference 2023 here at Cal State Long Beach. I am Bettina Joy de Guzman, President of the Board of CCA-S. Before we begin, I'd like to give a special thanks to our amazing secretary, Katie Robinson, for her tireless communications and publicity, and to our treasurer, Paul McDermott. On behalf of the board, I'd like to say how very proud and honored we are to present some fabulous speakers today. CCA South is honored to present the following speakers: Armand Dangour, Professor of Classics at Jesus College, Oxford University; Angela Cinalli, researcher at Università Sapienza di Roma, Italia; Samuel N. Dorf, Professor of Music at University of Dayton, Ohio; and myself, Bettina Joy de Guzman, representing California Classical Association South and California Public High Schools and Public Schools. I will perform ancient Greek and Roman music fragments, a taste of existing ancient Greek melodies, modes, and rhythms sung with the lyre. Armand Dangour will talk about what did ancient Greek music sound like. Angela Cinalli will present a sneak peek at itinerant artistry of the Hellenistic period, musical highlights from Delphi, and Samuel N. Dorf will present capturing ancient dance in modern France. I would, of course, love to thank our brilliant host, Debbie Sneed, Assistant Professor of Classics here at the Classics Department at California State University at Long Beach. Thank you so much for making this possible. Thank you, Catherine Chu from Comparative Literature, and thank you, everybody. So I would like to introduce Debbie Sneed.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. It's also great to see students in the audience. My name is Dr. Debbie Sneed. I'm an assistant professor of classics here at Cal State Long Beach. And I'm very happy to introduce Bettina Joy de Guzman, who is our first speaker. Bettina is a multi-instrumentalist, educator, and classicist, composing with replica ancient music instruments and poetry inspired by collaborative research. She's been invited to perform and lecture for Harvard University's Center for Hellenic Studies, the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, and various international institutions. As Regents Fellow at the University of California in Irvine, she taught ancient Greek and Roman history, as well as mythology. She is co-creator and host of Cosmote TV, History Channel, Ancient Greek Culture Now. As president of the California Classical Association South, she organizes conferences twice a year. She was awarded a performance and panel grant by Harvard University Center for Hellenic Studies in 2020, and she was named an associate and visiting artist there for 2021 and 2022. Please join me in welcoming Bettina Joy de Guzman.
Can the Zoom people hear me okay? Yeah, all right, great. In the ancient Mediterranean world, musicians sang and played instruments during formal and informal events. I will begin with a Delphic paean by Athenaiou, who is listed as a director of the Great Chorus in the festival of 128 BC. The oldest, lengthiest, and best preserved example of a Greek song with musical notation, inscribed on 2 marble slabs originally positioned along the sacred way of Delphi. It was likely performed with aulos players, the double reed pipes. And for those of you who are here, you could see the double reed pipes over there next to the lovely red roses. And lyre players who sang along with a chorus of 50 boys or less. There are 3 sections translated by my dear friend Armand Dangour, classics professor from Oxford University. This first part, which I will be performing, praises the god Apollo. And here's the translation. Hark, you whose domain is deep forested Helicon, loud thundering Zeus's fair-armed daughters. Come with songs to celebrate your brother Phoebus of the golden hair, who over the twin peaks of this mountain Parnassus, accompanied by the far-famed Delphic maidens, comes to the streams of the flowing Castalian spring as he visits his mountain oracle. So here is the Delphic Paean by Athenaeus Athenaeus. Litrelicona batidendron haelachete dios eribromu digatre solenoi molete sinamai mon hina foibon oita heisi melpse de crise okoman Hosanna de corimba parnasitos tas de peteras hetran hamaga glitais delphisin castalidus eidru nama de penisetai delphona naprona manteion ephepon pagon That was the first section. There's actually a second and third section, and I'll play them separately, just one at a time, so people know what it's saying. So the second section is much more chromatic and enharmonic as it praises Attica, Athena's unconquerable ground, and the sacred altars where Hephaestus burns the thigh of young bulls. While Arabian incense smoke spreads up to Olympus, the clear-voiced pipe weaves shimmering tunes, and the sweet-voiced golden kithara raises the song of praise. And here, I love how it's referring to the pipes that should be accompanying this song. So we have here the second section. Enclita megalopolis Athis, euhaisi ferro ploion aiusa, tritonidos dapedona thrauston, hagioi de bomoisi, haphaistos aitheneon, merataoron, homuden in Arabs, atmoses Olympon, anakid natai, ligidelotos bremon, aiolois melesinoi dan treki. Riseia daditrus, gitaris hymnoisin, anamelpetai. So that is the second section. In the third section, the whole troupe of Attic artists glorifies Apollo, the son of great Zeus, who utters undying and unlying oracles to all mortals. We sing of how Apollo slew the great serpent, that spawn of earth with its glittering coils, hissing as it expired, just as the barbarous army of Gauls, who impiously invaded this land, perished in rivers of molten snow. So here is the third section. De techniton propas, esmus athidalachon, aglaïs ecliton paida megaludios, soigare por acronifeton de pagon, ambrota pseude upas ithnaton, profines logia. Odamanteon hos eleshon megasefrure drakon. Hotetekos gazapestesas aiolon heliktan fian. Es hoter bygna sirigmath ies aptobelt. Apepneus homos. Hoste galatanares barbaros, dan hose bigaian, eperesa septos, hionos oleth higrais Hawaii. And now I'll be singing the oldest complete piece of musical notations with lyrics found so far in history, which the Song of Sikilos, written in the 2nd century AD in Greek on a cylindrical stone, which was found in Tralles, modern Turkey. It bore the words, "I am a stone icon. Sikilos placed me here, a mark of immortal remembrance throughout time." So just the plain melody, okay? While you live, shine bright. Don't let anything grieve you. We don't have life for long. Time demands an end. What we have is the melody, and what you're going to hear, the melody with the lyrics. And the musical notations were found right on top, and I think Armand will talk more about that. But what I will do is incorporate some harmonies that and kind of interpret it my own way. Prosolikon estitosin, totelos ochronos apeti. These first 4 songs that I'm playing were found with the musical notations with the ancient Greek lyrics. So these first 4 songs, the melodies are not mine. These were the original melodies that you're hearing. And so this next one is from Melodies of Crete. I wanted to say something about this instrument that you see here. Now, other replicas that some of my friends made this more like a spindle type, which they believe was how it originally was. And so the gut strings, you move it by spinning it, and then you clip it with things that look like clothespins. Now, with the amount of traveling I have to do, I can you imagine, like I'd have to be I'd be tuning so much more than I'm already doing now. So I requested something a little bit more modern. This type of pegs, though, these sort of harp pegs have been around for a long time. I think they were found, if I'm not wrong, like all the way in 18th century BC in Egypt. This type of pegs, but for harp, not for lyre. So this is sort of to sort of mesh together. But yeah, it works, and you still get the idea that this box type of lyre. Something you would have seen. And I have the smaller version. Most people are calling it Forminx. It's just one of the names. It belongs to the Kithara family, the guitar, as opposed to the Callis lyre, which I will be playing in the second part of my performance. All right. So Melodies of Crete was a Greek lyric poet and composer. He was a freedman of the Emperor Hadrian and one of many scholars who lived in the Museion at Alexandria in the early 2nd century AD. Before the Sicula song was discovered in the late 19th century, the hymns of Melodies were the only surviving written music from the ancient world, preserved through the Byzantine tradition. There are 2 hymns I will sing: Prayer to Calliope and Apollo, and Hymn to the Muse. So again, and it translates as wise Calliope, foremost of the delight-making muses, and wise initiator into the mysteries, son of Leto, Delian Paeon, with favors be here for me. And then the next short hymn is Sing to me, dear muse, and begin my song. With a breeze from your groves, stir my mind. So I just put them together. Calliope so far, muson prokatha yetit debnon, que sofemi totauta. Latus gonedilie peian, efmenis pares temi. Aieremus ami filii, mopis demis catarhu, avride sona paseion, emas frenas donito. Aieremus ami filii, Calliope so far. So that concludes the first part of my musical presentation. I will now turn it over to Armand to talk more about what did ancient Greek music sound like.
Thank you very much. And